For those who have been living under a rock, this is the new Kia EV9 and the future of Kia's ongoing success as we know it. So, what makes this EV Ute so special, and why is it most likely going to be Kia's flagship vehicle for a while to come? Well, that question and a few more answered for you while we go over the all-new 2024 Kia EV9. Just looking at the EV9 invokes images of the neon streets of Blade Runner or Cyberpunk 2077. The overall shape is geometric, with angular body lines converging at sharp points throughout the architecture. But even though the body lines look less than aerodynamic, the overall drag coefficient is actually better than that of a Lamborghini Huracan and a Ferrari Roma. That futuristic style, though, starts up front. Kia's signature tiger nose design has been tweaked to fit a vehicle that doesn't need a traditional grille for airflow. In its place is a body-colored panel that incorporates Kia's dynamic welcome lights and gives you the choice of 5 different designs that light up as you approach the vehicle. Additionally, on each side are these beautiful wing-shaped headlights with 12 individual cube-shaped LED projectors and Tron-style daytime running lights. Across the bottom fascia is Kia's available active aero grille that opens its speed to cool the electric motors and battery tray. Down the side, you have the piano black high arching and angular fender flares protruding from the wide body front fenders, paired with the massive hood that blends perfectly with the rest of the front end. Move down the side of the EV9 and you're met with even more high gloss black trim, as well as flush mounted door handles and either traditional glass mirrors or Kia's new digital side mirrors that are high definition cameras combined with full color monitors mounted on the inside of the doors. That futuristic styling doesn't end there. Out back, the EV9 is given Kia's new Constellation-style taillights that match the daytime running lights up front. At the top of the tailgate is a significant roof spoiler that incorporates the third brake light. Then, down below, the piano black bumper is accented with a gunmetal gray section that separates it from the lower skid plate. Lastly, EV9 has 3 distinct wheel options ranging from 19 to 21 inches depending on the trim level. Kia continues the future-forward approach inside the EV9 as well. Most of the surfaces and materials are made from plant-based or recycled material, lowering the carbon footprint even further. Don't assume that sustainability equates to lack of comfort though. If anything, the EV9 is the most comfortable and passenger-centric vehicle that Kia produces. Up front, driver and passenger are met with available heated, ventilated, massaging, and reclining 8-way and 10-way passenger seats. The second row is just as capable. If you choose the available captain chairs in the middle row, they also have the same functionality. The third row does recline, but nothing else. Move back up front, and the driver's seat is one of the best places in the EV9. In front of you is a Syntex-wrapped heated steering wheel with a ton of functions, like the standard radio controls, speakerphone, driver mode selector, cruise control, menu selector, and more. Keeping you up to date on all the EV9's functions is the 30-inch display that stretches almost halfway across the dash. Comprised of 2 12.3-inch displays and a third 5-inch display for the climate controls, there's hundreds of functions that are controlled by this center hub. Starting with the driver's screen, this 12.3-inch display provides all necessary and valuable information directly to the driver. It replaces the traditional speedometer and tachometer and extends it with a multifunctional display which can be controlled via the steering wheel buttons. Move to the infotainment screen, and the center display gives you and your passengers access to all multimedia, navigation, and setting functions of the EV9. Simply use the intuitive touchscreen to use your phone, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, control your charging settings, interior lighting, driver and passenger seat settings, and a huge list of driver aids and safety settings, and much more that I can't list in just a single video. Below the screen are a few touch-sensitive buttons for the infotainment screen, as well as volume controls, which also double as the power button. Kia also gave EV9 an 8-speaker standard or optional 14-speaker Meridian Premium audio system. Continue your way down and you'll find some physical buttons for the dual climate controls, as well as a few USB ports connecting to the infotainment screens and for fast charging. Speaking of the USB ports, the back passengers get a few as well that are built into the sides of the driver and passenger seats for ease of access. Continue with the overall concept of form combined with function is the design of the center console. Because there is no transmission tunnel, the floor of the EV9 is completely flat, allowing for more usable space. The center console itself is detached from the dashboard, giving passengers more storage options, like the lower tray that was made to accommodate a woman's purse. Move to the top of the armrest and slide down the roll-top compartment, and you get 2 adjustable cup holders, as well as a small storage space for a passenger cell phone, plus a wireless charging pad. Buttons for the auto lock, hill descent, parking cameras, and parking sensor are also in the center console, as well as Kia's new driver profile selector that uses a fingerprint scanner to identify drivers and passengers and adjust the vehicle settings accordingly. The middle row gets some available niceties as well. Located at the back of the center console is a pull-out storage compartment that also seconds as a tray table for in between the captain's chairs. The GT line also gets heated and ventilated seating that recline just as the front seats do. The middle row also has a motorized function that moves, tilts, and pushes the middle seats forward to gain access to the third row. That third row isn't just for kids either. Those seats not only recline, but they also have enough legroom and shoulder room for 2 grown adults. Plus, no matter where you sit, every passenger can enjoy the dual panoramic moonroofs. Open the EV9's power liftgate and you get 20 square feet of cargo space behind the third row. Fold the third row and second row flat, and you gain an extra 62 square feet of space plus a small compartment in the front. Adding to the convenience factor are controls for the motorized seats, as well as a 12-volt power plugs for any accessories you might be carrying. All the cool toys and comforts don't mean a thing to potential owners though if there isn't enough power or range to get you where you're going. Lower trim level, light rear-wheel drive, and light long-range rear-wheel drive are both powered by a single motor. The light rear-wheel drive variation boasts 215 horsepower and 285 foot-pounds of torque, with an estimated range of 230 miles. The light long range is slightly lower on power at 201 horsepower with the same torque rating, but the total range jumps almost 75 miles. The wind and land all-wheel drive models share power plants and have an estimated range of 280 miles with the dual motors, giving them 379 horsepower and 443 foot-pounds of torque. Lastly, the GT line all-wheel drive has 270 miles of estimated range and the same 379 horsepower, but torque increases to a neck-breaking 516 foot-pounds with 0 to 60 time of just 5 seconds. That's enough power and torque to pit it against some of the fastest supercars in production today. One of the best parts of EV9's driver system, though, is the adjustable regenerative braking. Behind the steering wheel are paddle-style levers that let you increase and decrease the amount of regenerative braking. When activated, the EV9 will increase the amount of electromagnetic resistance that each motor has and send the collected kinetic energy back to the battery, essentially charging itself. With all the available options, tech, and innovation that Kia has put into the EV9, it's pretty easy to see that it's going to be their flagship EV for a while to come. So, if you're interested in the EV9, prices range from $54,900 for the light rear-wheel drive trim to an eye-watering $73,900 for the top-tier GT line all-wheel drive. If you're looking for something in between with the most amount of range, check out the light long-range version for just over $59,000.